Thank you for joining us for this episode. We will be covering an exceptionally dark topic this week: demonic possession. Some people believe that opening your mind to this subject matter is an open invitation for real demons to infiltrate your mind and adversely affect your spiritual well-being. Please use extreme caution while processing the information in this episode. If you feel like a demonic attack or possession is something you could experience from learning about this topic, please catch one of our old episodes and join us again next week. This message is sponsored by Bill Wilkins. And as always, we're happy to have you here at the Brohio Podcast Studios.
Thank you guys for joining us once again.
Yeah, as always, I'm your co-host, Delicious Nicolicious.
And I'm the other co-host, Mr. Rob Diggity Dog. What's going on, guys?
Rob Dog.
Rob Dog.
Rob, I appreciate you coming here tonight and joining me for this podcast discussion.
Hey, that's what's going on.
We just got done performing a
live Q&A.
half-hour live stream on our closed group, Butt Chuggers Anonymous. Listen, if you've tried to join Butt Chuggers Anonymous and you got declined, it's because you didn't answer the super secret question, which is, who is the resident demon?
Don't give the answer. You got to know.
I'm not telling you my name.
And he shit himself to death.
He shit himself. B-dub.
BW.
BW. This episode, we haven't told anybody except for our research assistants what we're talking about. We're doing demonic possessions.
Yes. We talked a little bit about possessions and other sorts of things similar to that before in previous episodes.
Sexy demons.
Sex demons. And we've talked about a little bit of the Ammons family whenever we were talking about...
Yes.
Which one was that? Was that...
the people that investigate that suck.
The Warrens.
Yes.
There we go.
The Warrens.
Yeah, so we've talked about it a little bit, but we're going to go a little bit deeper.
And as we're doing a promo swap with a couple other podcasts, so if you heard us from the promo swap, thanks for coming and listening. We are absolutely filthy and
give us a chance, though.
And rude, and we're nasty, and we're horrible people, and we talk about bad stuff, and we make bad jokes. So if you're easily offended, I would turn back now.
And we do have a history of going off on tangents whenever we're going over our subjects.
Yeah.
So be prepared to have like 4 or 5 different mini discussions while we're going through.
We're just trying to make you laugh, though.
That's what it's all about. Forget about your normal life.
Yeah. How about some Patreon subscribers? I got some new Patreon subscribers.
Woo.
If you want to subscribe to Bro Talk for $5, unlock our premium Bro Talk for $5 a month, you can go to patreon.com/BroHioPodcast.
It's only $5.
We've got 30 Patreon pledgers. You can also do a one-time donation if that's your thing. Our email is brohiopodcast@gmail.com. You can do that via PayPal. We are trying to buy expensive microphones. They cost a lot of money. It's going to make me sound even prettier than I do right now.
Yeah, which is hard to believe.
Make me sound as silky smooth as Rob.
Oh,
Tess Wooten. Thank you, Tess.
Thank you.
Thank you for having a beautiful name. And also, we have a single name Patreon pledger. That's Oscar.
Thanks, Oscar. Love you on The Office.
I think it's Oscar De La Hoya, honestly.
Okay.
He was a great golfer. We also got Jeremy
Covacini.
Well, I love it when they use tricky names. I think they just do this to mess with me.
Yeah, they know we can't pronounce shit right.
And then my girl, Sarah Gresham.
What up, girl?
She's awesome. She's on the Butt Chuggers Anonymous.
Loud and proud.
She's a mail carrier, so she's doing a service for America.
Getting them federal benefits.
She's funny, and she makes us laugh, and we make her laugh.
Yeah.
And she's good. And we got another one from Kylie.
Love your lip kits.
Yeah, thank you. My door is rustling around. I'm assuming it's my cat. Chelsea Carter.
All right. What's up?
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you.
And we have a PayPal donation from Dana Lucy.
PP.
Lucy. How do you pronounce that one?
Lucy.
And then, as always, I would like to say hello to our MVPs of Butt Chuggers Anonymous. That's Andrea Pinkerman. She said if we said her name, that she was going to let it all go.
Pinkerman the Stinkerman.
Andrea, we said it. Just let it go.
Let it go.
Christiane Elizabeth. She donated us money on PayPal as well. She donated and then said, take it and run with it. She also wants to help us out with some research later on.
Hey, that's awesome.
The more the merrier.
We need as much help as we can.
Samantha Ravati.
Ravioli.
Ravioli, that's her name.
Samantha Ravioli, thank you.
She's on there. She's filthy and disgusting. Neil Denver, Ashley Lothar, and Jimbo Carrillo. Thank you guys for being so active on our pages.
We love you guys. Thank you.
We love you all so much. Sorry, we got to step away for a second. Poltergeist behind me, shaking the door. There was nothing there. That's what we do at Brohio.
Yeah, but we also have a live show coming up too.
We got a live show. That's April 14th, 2018 at 7:30 p.m. $10 tickets. It's going to be at Roosters in Milford, Ohio.
Cincinnati.
We're going to be with Mysterious Circumstances, Justin Rimmel, Hillbilly Horror Stories.
Our favorite peoples in the world.
Yeah, it's going to be
a really good time.
It's going to be a really good time. The website's Eventbrite, so if you just do a Google search of Eventbrite in Brohio, you'll be able to find those tickets.
Come join us. Have a beer. Hang out.
Yes.
Have some fun.
If you come,
let's get weird.
I promise you will come if you get what I'm saying. And that's part of the disclaimer, guys. I told you I was going to be dirty, okay?
Bring some pants.
I have an article for you, Rob. We always start our episodes with a funny article from the week.
We do.
Oh, before we get there, we have some podcasts to plug.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into that, too.
We have ShambleFest.
Awesome name.
And they are... I listened to their podcast this week. They have tremendous audio. They do really well, which usually, they're kind of new, too. Normally, when you listen to a new podcast, their audio sucks. They're awesome. They're funny. They're like our female counterparts. They're fucking disgusting. They're filthy.
Awesome. I like it.
They seem like the kind of women that would fart in their hand and throw it in your mouth, like a wafting. You ever do that to your friends? Just fart and throw it at them?
The old catch and release.
They seem like they would do that.
Yeah.
And the one she was talking, she's like, yeah, I have my credit card number memorized because I lay on the couch and I buy stuff. That way I don't have to get up and my husband's like, what the fuck are you getting your credit card for? And she's got it memorized. So she's circumnavigating the system there.
That's smart.
And we also have another promo swap with Two Girls, One Ghost. They
awesome
do
name too.
Listener stories. They're relatively new as well, but they're hotter than a two-peckered billy goat.
Oh.
And they're super funny. And we are happy to play their promos. And we'll go ahead and do that now.
Welcome to ShambleFest!
I'm Jess.
I'm Amber, and we are your one-stop weekly shop for news shambles.
We're a weekly WTF and current events comedy podcast. We drop episodes every Monday morning. Tune in.
Shamble on!
Hey guys, this is Corinne and Sabrina.
We are the hosts of Two Girls, One Ghost. We are here to tell you spooky,
scary,
spine-chilling
ghost stories.
Listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
See you on the other side.
Very spooky.
All right. Fantastic promos there.
Yeah. Give them a listen, guys.
Yes. Now on to our article. In the case of a toothless man in a topless bar, a Manhattan chef claims a sensitive stripper slugged him for insulting her mothering skills.
Oh.
David Kupferstein, 36, stopped with pals at the Hustler Club in March 2015 when one of the dancers chatted up the group. She kept on talking to me, he recalled. She kept on having drinks. She kept on talking to me. She kept having drinks with us. Some of my friends were throwing money at her. She told me all about herself and her family and her children and how they were fucking up with the police. I can't even do it. I said, it sounds like you're a bad mother.
That's so polite to say.
This is from the article. He added, I guess she didn't like that. The dancer punched Kupferstein and as he was sipping his drink, knocking out his left front tooth in the process. Man. Yeah. He charges in a Manhattan Supreme Court lawsuit against the Midtown West Jiggle Joint. What the fuck?
That's so good.
Within seconds, 3 or 4 bouncers surrounded me, escorting me out. They always take the stripper side. I don't know that from experience, but they bring me to the front. After a couple minutes, they found my tooth on the floor and they brought it back to me.
Hey, here's your tooth, buddy.
Yeah, here's your tooth. Get the fuck out of here. The manager allegedly pledged to pay the private chef's dental bills, but later reneged. Kupferstein claims the injury left Kupferstein with a gap in his grin until he was able to get a temporary fake tooth. One of the restaurants I was interviewed for was called Smile. The irony was very thick.
At least he's having fun with it.
Kufferstein, who is single, expects years of expensive dental work, including possible gum surgery, and is suing for almost $1 million in damages.
$1 million.
We want the Hustler Club to be held accountable, said his lawyer, Stephen Wolf. That's a very New Yorkish name.
Yeah.
A lawyer for the West Side Highway Strip Club declined comment. A manager didn't return messages. Kufferstein said he felt ashamed for having been in the strip club, but doesn't think the punishment fit his crime. I guess it's sort of insulting to tell a woman she's a bad mother, he admitted. I felt we had that kind of rapport.
You're talking to a stripper, man. What do you
Wrong.
think? Yeah.
You did not.
You don't know this person.
That's why she punched you right in your cocksucker.
Oh, that's a good one.
Don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for you, Kupferstein.
He's 36 and toothless, I mean.
Hanging out in a strip club.
Yeah.
Which I don't fancy. I do not like those.
I don't mind him.
Big old waste of fucking money.
I don't spend money when I go
I
there.
could probably bribe my wife to touch me. Like an Ulta gift card or wherever I don't know where you buy your makeup from when you do dragon shit, but that's where I go.
Yeah.
And if I brought
Sephora.
home some roses and a Ulta gift card, she would touch me.
Hey.
Easily.
That's all that matters. Whatever you gotta do, man.
So let's get to demons and
Possessions.
I just want to talk like in a New York accent for the rest of the
I know,
episode.
so do I.
One thing, I think the confusion, when I'm kind of thinking about demons, we're going to be speaking about demons in the most, I would say, Catholic and Christian aspect of it, because a lot of different cultures view demons a lot of different ways. You got black magic, you got voodoo stuff, you've
Harvey
got
Weinstein.
stuff we've never even heard of before. So we're going to be talking about demons in the, I should say, that's what's most popular in America as far as what we consider demons.
Yeah, and when you're talking about demon possession, you're often talking about exorcisms, which are mostly, exercised through Catholicism. Like, that's your primary.
And another thing I would like to say, a lot of people get demons confused, whereas, someone's possibly fighting a drug addiction or maybe
Schizophrenia.
jerking off a whole bunch. They say,
Oh.
oh, she's got demons. She's got all kinds of demons. I don't think huffing nail polish in a Home Depot parking lot, that's not a fucking demon. Demon to me is when someone completely involuntarily loses control. They're just like, and we have a lot of audio clips that we're going to be able to play for you guys tonight.
And some good,
really scary.
Got some good stories too from famous possessions.
Another thing, I'm hoping I can do a disclaimer before this episode. I haven't done it yet. I might have to go back and do it.
Yeah.
A lot of the research that I've gone through, when you learn about demons, you're essentially opening yourself up. It's like opening
a lot of things.
Opening your front door for a demon.
Yeah.
So if that's something you believe in,
we're dragging all you guys down with us.
Just turn back, run away, because we are kicking the door wide open. We're gonna knock it down,
blowing the hinges off.
We're coming in, dicks hard, dicks out for Harambe.
Ass is ready.
We're just ready to. I saw Harambe bed today. It was a bed made of gorilla fur and it had arms on it, like arms on the side of it, so you could just lay down and then wrap the gorilla arms around you.
Oh, that's sweet.
How sweet of an embrace would that be?
And there's tangent number 1.
Love you, Harambe. We miss you.
R.I.P.
Yeah. For many years, the word demon has been synonymous with the part of us that makes us do things that we would ultimately consider, bad, or I guess I should say.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's so bad. I've been jerking off for 7 or 8 hours now. I can't stop farting. It's these demons. That's
I think that's how it works.
That's my biggest demon.
I think you do have a demon.
Butt demons. I do exorcisms all the time. We did a live stream on Butt Chuggers Anonymous, and I exorcised one on there briefly.
Yeah, you did.
It's very impolite. The earliest concept of demons appears in you can't trace the theory of demons back. I mean, it's kind of
it's timeless.
It is.
It goes back to the beginning, to the dawn of time.
Yes. They believe that forces outside of the human body control the stars, the cosmos, weather, and animals. Well, that's kind of the older I get. I was raised in a predominantly Christian household with strong Christian views and values.
Okay.
And the older I get, I'm more interested in energy, like the energy of the universe, about I think that's kind of more so what makes the world go round. Like when a person walks in the room and I can just feel that they are a bad person, or like they walk in, I'm like, oh, that person really, they shine. They light up the room essentially. Mm-hmm. That's not a very godly feeling for me. That's more like just feeling the energy.
Right.
And
it's like just the electricity in the air.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they subscribed to back then. Was they were more interested in what the things around them how they could change the universe. They also believed that the very same forces could determine whether a person had good or bad experiences, thus explaining that something evil, at the end of the day, ultimately had a stranglehold on the fate of all humanity. Hollywood has done a fantastic job of trying to portray the worst aspects of demons, I should say. You've got all the movies, The Conjuring, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is based off...
The Exorcist as well?
Yeah. Is The Exorcist based off of Anneliese Michel, or Michelle, whatever her name is?
It's based... Yeah, it's... From what I remember reading, it was actually based off of a male.
A male?
Yes.
Like a mail carrier or a man with a penis?
A man. I think it may have been George Lucas, but I might be wrong.
It was filmed on a penis. Now, in the movies, they show you that you just do exorcisms, holy water. You call the demon by its name and you curse at it until it's a shithole. But sometimes that's not necessarily the way to go about it. I know we have reached out to demonologists before, and I wasn't completely convinced of their credibility after we spoke with them. There's a lot of people that I think they can just, because you can be a fucking demonologist. You just say, I'm a demonologist, and I chase demons. I kill demons. I'm a demon killer. That's not something you can go to school and get the title for. So I think
going back, Roland Doe.
Roland Doe.
Yeah,
that's okay.
The inspiration for The Exorcism.
Gotcha.
Or The Exorcist. Or Robbie Mannheim, whatever. He has a couple of different names. But
Hyman.
Yeah, 14-year-old boy.
Robbie Hyman.
1935.
I remember him from high school, middle school. He got knocked down and tore it.
He was a good guy.
Simon. And like I was saying before, you have people that watch the movies and they think that, hey, I can do an exorcism, or I can fucking shun this demon. And I think I've mentioned it before on here. I'm an ordained minister. I've probably done 100 weddings at least. We have people that listen to the show. I've done their weddings. They're probably very ashamed that I stood on the altar with them. But I tell them right off the rip, like, listen, I'm not the most godly man in the entire world. I'm more of a beer and pizza kind of guy than I am a Holy Bible kind of guy. So I make that abundantly clear up front. And I said, well, I'm kind of into, this is before we started this show. I'm thinking, I'm kind of into ghosts. I'm into demons. I'm into learning about this stuff. Maybe I could start doing exorcisms. And I started reading about it.
Yeah, good luck.
After about 2 minutes of research, I said, fuck that.
Yep.
I cannot. There is no way. That thing is crawling up the wall. There's all kinds, and you get the weirdest, when you look for this stuff, you get the weirdest videos from like third world countries and shit.
And the weird part about exorcisms is that not only do you have to be authorized to do them, like you have to be pretty much taught, but then you have to get, if you're doing an official exorcism, you have to get permission from the Catholic Church. And I think so. It goes pretty much all the way to the top before you can do it.
And then you have to, right, like you said, you have to be kind of like signed off on as an exorcist. They're still around. They're still, I mean, I read a lot of articles where they interviewed exorcists, where the more romantic name now is demonologist.
Right.
But they can't, I don't like the way they portray it, that you can fix it yourself just by burning some sage or throwing some water on it.
Right. Yeah. One of the stories that I'm going to go into is actually just from 2008. So, I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah.
It still goes on, but
it's still happening.
Nothing like, yeah.
So how do people become possessed? We are going to cover that. We're also going to cover the most popular demons. We are also going to cover the possible aspect of medical debunking.
The science of it.
Of demons. That's a science where if you travel back dozens of years, I don't know the exact date
Dozens.
for Anneliese Michel. She was German. She was a young girl that was believed to be possessed, and we're going to cover her later on. But she was not possessed. She was just sick. She had mental health issues,
Right.
coupled with epilepsy, coupled with being
Schizophrenic.
exceptionally devout Catholics, and they just thought she was possessed, and they starved this girl to death, and they beat her to death. So we don't like that, bro. Ohio doesn't like that kind of stuff. We don't like hurting little girls.
We don't stand for that.
We like hurting your feelings. That's why you're listening.
Or pieces of shit that deserve it.
We are. And if you do like us, go leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Please stop leaving us 1 stars. We told you we're assholes in the beginning. We do our research. We're not frat boys. To the person that left that, go fucking fist yourself.
We're 31. We're a little bit too old for that.
I dropped out of community college after 2 weeks.
Yeah, I went like a month.
If you can't tell, oftentimes the process of demonic possession simply starts with oppression and obsession. And I'm going to give you an example here. Praying, and I've had this happen to me before. You're praying, and then all of a sudden a bad memory will be triggered in your mind, and you'll immediately have your attention diverted. And it's hammered into your head as a young Christian that Satan's ultimate goal is to derail your path towards God. And that's kind of what they're saying here is one of the early symptoms, or I'm sorry, opening the door for the demon is, this is an example that he can trigger certain bad thoughts and divert your attention away from your goal to seek the Word of God. And I think I'm probably going to perform a lot of this podcast as an elderly Catholic
minister,
preacher, or a priest.
I think you should.
If I am going to do this episode as a priest, I would prefer if you took your pants off and you pulled your wiener back really far so it didn't look big.
I'm a little old for that.
I want you to make it. I want you to make it look like a little wiener, little baby dick.
Done.
Yeah, I don't even have to use my hands. And then the example of the obsession, one can't stop entertaining the thoughts of self-destruction, masturbating till your penis falls off, suicide.
Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah, you just can't stop thinking about all these.
We call those Mondays.
Yeah, Mondays. You can't stop thinking about all the bad shit you want to do to yourself. Cutting, which I know is really serious.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people deal with a lot of mental health issues that sometimes they feel like cutting is the answer. There's lots of outlets out there to pursue as far as help with that. If you're someone that needs help with that, write us on Instagram or Facebook. We'll try to help you with it. We're not trained professionals, in the words of William Hung, but we're here for all you guys. But you do, I guess, open the gateway when you do these certain things. But there's other ways that you can voluntarily. Those are kind of like involuntary.
Yeah,
I should say. There's voluntary ways that you can open the doors for demons as well.
Oh, definitely.
You can. People that seek faith healers, I guess, kind of that's along the lines of like a fucking witch doctor or something. You know, if you use a Ouija board, which we've never done. I've done it once. Have you ever used a Ouija board before?
When I was younger,
Yeah.
but
I think
I don't even recall what happened.
I used it with my cousin. I think she was messing with me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was the one that was moving it whenever I did. I was kind of a dick.
She's a bitch.
Yeah.
So she doesn't listen. I think her mom might listen. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to use any names. But taking, I'm pursuing activity in certain occults. You know,
Right.
Anything. I shouldn't say occults, but cults.
Yeah, if you're making blood oaths around a
Yeah.
goat head with a pentagram and candles, you're
cutting up kids in the name of Beelzebub.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit, man.
Stabbing people for Slender Man.
Yeah. Speaking of that, they
It's
got sentenced to.
Thank God.
They got sentenced to forever in
40
mental. Yeah.
40-something years.
And the stock market crashed today.
Yeah, cool.
Did you know that?
What if they go hand in hand?
Exactly.
It's because they burned down Philadelphia.
Well, listen, think about this. We are releasing our episode a day late, and the fucking stock market crashed on the day.
Coincidence?
No, it's
I
not.
think not.
It's not. The world, we are the centrifuge.
Today's the 5th. When our episode's going to go out tonight, so on tomorrow, if the stock market goes back up,
Let us know.
hey, let us know. Talk about a conspiracy.
Yeah. But in one instance where an exorcist had to respond to an entire school of 50 children, that must have been not a very busy school, and come to find out that all of the parents had taken their children to a psychic fairly recently. So there was like I don't know, they were doing something in the local village where they had a psychic in town, and all these parents took their kids to the psychic to see what their life held ahead of them. And it turns out they all fucking got demons. They got infected with the demons.
Oh yeah, of course they did.
Bill Wilkins went and got him by the wiener and said, "You're mine now." And speaking of Bill Wilkins, we're not sure who does the voice of Bill Wilkins.
No, we really don't have any idea.
It's me. But I was trying to... Someone said that it's slightly Australian. I didn't like that. So then I went to YouTube to try and learn how to speak better...
Bill Wilkins?
English. Is that what it's called when you speak British?
The Queen's English.
Yeah, the Queen's English. I was trying to learn how to speak better English. And he said, you can't say ah. You have to say instead of ah. So you don't do a task, you do a tusk. And it's not that you can't.
A tusk.
You cunt. And I said, stop right there, buddy. I can't say cunt in America because
I can't say it.
You can't say the C word around here. That's how you
bad.
offend people.
That's bad.
So I turned off that voice lesson, and Bill Wilkins is just going to keep on sounding a little bit Australian. I guess. I don't. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And another way that you can infect yourself with a demon is hiring certain types of witch doctors, like we said, like a Kalam. There's all kinds of spiritual healers and like nature healers,
voodoo priests.
And this is not, this is not our personal beliefs about this stuff. I predominantly got a lot of my research from like Christian-based church websites.
Yeah, whenever I was looking it up, it's mostly Christian-based websites.
A lot of it, so you get a lot of stuff I was finding. They just say, there's no such goddamn thing as demons. You just got to go take a shit and then you'll be all right. You know what I mean? So that's I did use the church websites, and if you've gone through certain traumatic experiences that have inflicted deep emotional wounds, or you're experiencing a lot of unforgiveness in your life, that can open a doorway for a demon. There's the possibility of being born a psychic. Also, people with a sixth sense, or they call it a third eye. If you asked me about my third eye, I would probably unzip my pants and show you my dick. Honestly,
I knew that was coming.
Honestly,
but
what happened there?
I knew where I was going.
Serve it up like a beach ball. That's just what's in the research, folks. I write it down.
It was on a Christian website.
I report
we're okay.
it. I report it. But also, this is funny. Altering your mind with drugs can put you in a susceptible state to be ridden with demons.
There's
I love to hear bad trip stories.
Man, you know what they say that, and I'm not. We've talked about this a little bit, but I'm not big into, like, I don't know a ton about Christianity, but there is a belief that the whole theology of Christianity all stems from,
I've heard this before.
The burning of an acacia tree or acacia bush.
Oh God!
Which is when they're burnt. Yeah. I don't know if it's DMT or if it's a psychedelic.
Yes.
And you have trips, and they think that may be essentially the cause of everything.
Oh, the word of God is
tripping, because there's a lot of people they could listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. He talks about it a lot, where he feels like he's had like out of body and like
exactly
like godly experiences. Like, it's crazy.
I remember I was just a young kid, and there was something that worked out. I had to go to work with my dad for a day, and I remember sitting there, and one of his employees he came in stinking just like he smoked the biggest, fattest reefer ever, and which he did. My dad ran a transmission shop, and I said, what is that smell? I was like 11 or 12, and my dad's like, he just got done having some of the devil's lettuce. And I'm like, what? He's like, he's smoking pot, and I knew what pot was at the time. And I'm like, how does that make you feel? He's like, man, when I smoke it and I sit on the toilet, I can see God. So a lot of people, even to a young age, I knew that people experience godly interactions with the help of a little bit of drugs. I really want to try mushrooms.
Yeah.
I've never had those before. I would love to try those. If any of you want to reach out to us, our P.O. box, and
Don't say that.
hook us up with some magic mushrooms.
We're going to be on a watch list.
We got our researchers, Julie and Courtney, they shipped us a bag of dicks this week.
Yeah, they did.
Gummy dicks. And we've been shoving the dicks down our mouth. They're delicious.
Yeah, they're really good.
Thank you, girls. Back to the subject at hand here. The Catholic Church says that people that practice tarot card readings, tarot,
yeah,
and Reiki.
I don't know that one.
That's another one.
Reiki.
Of those. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
And I don't.
Sounds like tarot card readings with dominoes.
And this, we have people that listen to us that do the palm readings and the tarot card readings. And I think that's like another one of those things that goes back to what I was saying. It's more of like an energy type thing. So this isn't us shutting that. This is just what the churches report as far as how to keep a demon out of your life.
Yeah.
And a good rule to live by is to never speak or interact with the spirits that make themselves available in your life. Which this is
common knowledge.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird thing. It's said that departed souls, when you die, you're always escorted out of this world with a guardian angel. So there's someone that, when you die, if this is what you believe, that you go to heaven, it's said that there's a guardian angel that'll take your hand and escort you to the kingdom of God. Jesus is sitting there, Peter, Paul, they're just in their dresses, they're drinking Zima with their asses, they're butt chugging, they're smoking doobies, they're waiting for you. So anyone caught in, I should call it like a soul purgatory, someone that would
neither here nor there.
Right. They obviously weren't escorted by the guardian angel, and they have nowhere to be. Oftentimes you'll see a loved one, and then that's the thing about the demons, they can disguise themselves. So grandma passes away, and you're laying there one night, and you see grandma in the doorway, and you're like, oh, hey grandma, how are you? I missed you. And then grandma's like, I'm here to clean your fucking room with your fucking head and skull. I'm going to break it. That's probably a demon, okay? And they will disguise themselves as loved ones. And you shouldn't, like we just said, you shouldn't talk to the spirits or the demons. You should just, this is the advice the church gives, just immediately start praying for their soul.
Oh, all right.
Don't talk to them.
That's logical.
So I don't ever want to experience the loss of a loved one. I've been very fortunate in that aspect of my life thus far.
Yeah.
But if my wife passed away and then, a week later, there she is, I'm probably going to talk to her. I'm probably going to be not of a sound mind. I'm going to cry. I'm going to reach up and grab that demon. If it is my wife,
grab that ass.
I'm going to fuck the demon out of it and bring her back. Welcome back. House is still a mess. Dishes haven't been done since you've been gone. Glad you came back, though. You want to go get some chicken wings? Yeah, just pray for their soul. And to counter that, you'll more than likely experience the demon beginning to mock your prayer, which is really scary, too. Just that, I think when you see in the movies, the demons are like, fuck my fucking ass, and
right?
They
They're
mock
over the
you.
top. Yeah.
That's scary, man. For me, that's scary how they mock you, and that's one thing they say that you will experience, and it's very prevalent. Is they will, whatever you're saying, and you're like, oh God, please rescue this one. Oh, you want please rescue? Yeah. Oh, really? You want someone to come fucking save me? How about someone comes and saves your mouth after you fall asleep and I fuck your teeth in? That's the kind of demon I want to deal with.
Hey, I'll take it. It sounds like a party.
And now, I think, so we've learned a little bit about demons. I think I want to do an audio clip here.
Hey, let's go. I love it.
I'm going to do one this is from the 1980s. This is a church hotline, okay? This woman has called in to tell the preacher. This audio is a little sketchy, so
1-800-DEMONS.
Yeah, it's a spirit hour type deal, you know.
Sweet.
Hour of power of power, whatever. This lady's calling in to the priest saying that she thinks she's affected by a demon, and he starts to pray for her. And then when he starts to pray for her, the demon comes out of the woman. Right?
All right.
That's all they would tell me.
Well, Rebecca, that is a perversion of scriptural truth, because it is the blood of Christ that covers and protects us and forgives us from all sin.
You can help me.
The first thing we can do is pray for you.
I can help you.
It doesn't hurt.
Do I have to cut myself?
You do not have to cut yourself.
What the fuck?
In the name of our Father in heaven and His Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, we just pray right now for the peace and comfort of God to come upon Rebecca. We bind
The last guy
all
I
the
called said I had to
powers
put my
of
finger in my
darkness,
ass.
and I
You hear that?
place
Oh,
the blood
shit.
of Christ on Rebecca right now.
Is that a raptor?
It's a demon.
Is being loosed. Rebecca is being loosed by the power of Jesus Christ. Don't worry, Rebecca. God is in control. Don't you worry. Who are you? Who are you? The keeper? You are not the keeper.
The guardian.
You are not the guardian.
Holy
Fuck.
I got chills.
So do I.
You who call yourself keeper, is Jesus Christ Lord? To whom does she belong?
Right now, she belongs to my master.
Holy fucking shit.
She will not continue to belong to him.
We'll do everything we can to terminate her.
You can't terminate her.
I'm faithful to you.
Oh
You who
my
call yourself the
god.
keeper, speak to me. In the name of Christ, you speak to me.
What is it?
You will let her go.
Why should I let her go? She belongs to me.
Oh,
Not forever.
I was sent here to protect her, to guide her, and to lead her.
Jesus Christ came here to die for her.
She has not yet made that choice.
She will make that choice, and you know very well it's a miracle that she called. It's a miracle she called today, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it?
Someone out there was praying for her.
Well, that's your problem.
that's your
How many
problem.
That's your
more of you are
problem.
there?
How many keepers?
How many more of your kind?
There are hundreds.
Oh my
Well, the hold
god.
is being broken.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes, and you know very well it is being broken. God did not have her call me by an X.
Whew. All right.
Did my hair was standing
Oh,
up
man.
on my neck. I didn't listen that far into it whenever I downloaded it. Because now I feel like I might have one inside of me. I think I felt it slide up in me.
It really did sound like the Raptors whenever they in Jurassic Park when it jumps on the kitchen equipment.
She's fucked. Dude, she's done.
Oh, dude, yeah, she's game over.
So, yeah, and Rob was just saying before this, he's like, I want to do an episode that's really scary. And then we play this, and it's the fucking most damning thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Terrifying.
So, I don't remember her name. She's dead now. She died from a demon.
The Keepers.
Yeah. So, what direction do we want to go next?
Good question.
I'll go with the different levels of demonic possession.
Yeah, let's just go to the
So it kind of works in reverse order. We've got mild demonic possessions. We've got medium demonic possessions, just like hot wing sauce. And we've got severe demonic possessions. So you would think a mild demonic possession, you wouldn't necessarily have a lot of crazy things happening. But the thing about a mild demonic possession is those demons tend to show their faces a lot more than a severe possession. So in a mild possession, you're going to get a very active demon that's kind of in its infancy. It's
just the severe is going to cause more havoc, essentially.
He's a rookie demon.
Right.
Whereas in a severe case of demonic possession, you're going to be faced with a demon that can cloak itself, and it's not... So you and I would be able to spot someone with a mild demonic possession, whereas a severe one, it's only going to be like a Catholic priest or someone with it's kind of thinking in a different realm. Like
those are going to be the ones that can have like a little girl throw a 300-pound man across the room and things.
So in a mild demonic possession, at this stage, even to the untrained person like you and I, you're going to notice certain subtleties about a possessed person. There's going to be a lot of abnormal behavior. The surprising part about this stage is the demon has already fully manifested inside the victim at this point. You may notice a lot of aggressive behavior from a normally docile human. You'll see a lot of hysterical laughter, gibberish. And at this point, you kind of, a way to test what's going on, if you take the person to a church or a temple and the demonic activity ceases, then that's kind of a telltale sign that you're dealing with a mild demonic case. Or if they drink holy water, which I did look on Amazon, you can buy holy water from Jordan. It comes in a bottle.
Another thing that I realized that whenever I was reading on this is with some of the cases that I have, what they would do with holy water, excuse me, is to actually see if they could distinguish what the holy water or not. They would use normal water and holy water.
Okay.
And this is how they would kind of figure out if they were like bullshitting, is they would take, normal water and act as if it was holy water and sprinkle it on them.
Placebo effect.
Exactly. And if they freaked out, that's not having any effect.
Yep.
But with the stories that I have, they're only reacting to holy water.
Oh yeah.
So that's the real deal.
Full boner, full mast right there.
Oh yeah.
Normally, in the instance of a mild demonic possession, you're going to have a mental health professional diagnose this as psychosis and not what it actually is, which is a demon. These demons at this stage can be confronted. So if you're possessed, I can say, show yourself, demon, and the demon will immediately show its face. It wants to be known. It wants people to see that it's there. It wants to be talked to. It wants the attention. And that's why this is a mild...
It's kind of like me.
Yeah, just look at me.
Just pay attention to me.
Look how good I am at shaving my balls. Look at this Italian belt buckle right here. I can get my nuts all the way up over my band right here.
Make little designs and flags.
I've got thunderbolts on my balls. Now, and like I said, these are the demons in training. These are the rookie demons. They're little kid demons. Then you graduate to medium demonic possession, which is right below hot sauce on the Richter scale of chicken wing sauces. At this point, you're going to need someone with a sixth sense or an extra sensory perception to determine someone is possessed. The telltale signs aren't normally as clear here. The demon isn't fully manifested at this point. But sometimes it can be fully manifested at this point, and it's just kind of in between medium and a severe state, and it kind of lies dormant and just doesn't really show itself. However, like I said, it's not always the case of the full manifestation, and the person could be fully manifested and yet be very calm, collected, giving no telltale signs that they are possessed. In the event of a severe demonic possession, here only a saint would be able to diagnose whether a person is possessed. For a person possessed by higher level ghost, only a saint of the highest order would be able to ascertain that the person is indeed possessed. So you're going to need the old man that sits at the back of the church that never comes out. You need
That's blind, and he's just super wise.
You need to go to the room, like the smokestacks and shit, and just walk up to the window and be like, hey,
you need Gandalf.
I need that motherfucker by the window.
Gandalf and Dumbledore need to come help you out.
Yes. Now we're going to cover the levels of demonic possession based on the extent of control achieved over the manifestation by speaking to the manifest person. Yeah. From this viewpoint, demonic possession is categorized based on the extent that a person of average spiritual level can speak to a person where the demon has manifested and is able to calm him down. In the case of a mild possession, even a person of an average spiritual level can speak to the manifested person, i.e., your
everyday person.
Yes, you can calm the demon down. You can bring the demon out, but you can also calm the person down once they're,
hey dude, chill out, man.
Yeah, your friend's like, you say, hey, knock that shit off. And it's
Did you
done.
have some chicken wings?
In the case of a medium possession, the spiritually average person has limited success in calming the person down by speaking to the person when the ghost is manifesting.
Okay.
A ghost is also a demon in this
It's just
narrative here.
As you go, it's just harder for the normal person to do anything.
When the possession is severe, the spiritually average person is unable to calm the manifesting person down.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. So I'm going to skip past that next part because it really doesn't tell us much. I'm going to speak now the levels of demonic possession. In a mild possession, that's where the possessing ghost is a common ghost or an inferior level demon. Like I said, a rookie biatch. At this level, the intent behind the possession is generally limited to harming the individual being possessed. The relative strength of the ghost is 1 through 100. So they do.
So this is like a janitor.
Yes, they. This church website I got this from. They put these demons have different levels. They're like Pokemon cards.
Yeah, that's the crappy evolution that you get. When you
I've
first
got a
start.
Clitator, level 57 right here. I got it at the store yesterday. 75 big ones. Dropping it on you. In a moderate possession is when the ghost is a female goblin, and it gives a name of that demon, Hadal, Shakin, or a medium level ghost. At this level, the intent is to affect the individual and society to some extent. The relative strength of this ghost is 1,000 to 10,000. In a severe possession, this is pretty cool to me, is when the possessing ghost is a subtle sorcerer.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you're not just. So when this demon gets up in you, you turn into the baddest motherfucker in the entire world.
You're a sorcerer.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
At this level, the intention of the possessing ghost is to create nationwide destruction or worldwide detrimental effect, i.e., Donald Trump, Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
The relative strength of this ghost is 100,000 to infinity, Rob. This is the final fucking boss.
This is your final boss. This is the Jason Voorhees of.
An example of this would be Hitler, who was possessed by a subtle sorcerer from the lower regions of hell.
This is just what our research said, not what we think.
No.
I mean, I'm sure he was some sort of a demon in some ways.
He was definitely a sorcerer.
Yeah, he was a sorcerer.
Now he's a lizard man living inside of Antarctica.
Yeah, in Hollow Earth.
It's true. So those are the different.
That's the ranking system.
The ranking system for demons.
The evolution tier.
There's all kinds of demons.
Love it.
Various levels. You have different ranks. You can be a sergeant in arms, a lieutenant demon. I would have to say I would probably be like a private first class if I was a demon. Kind of the stupid one they keep in the kitchen. He scrubs the floors and shit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm right there with you. And from there, I say let's go into the different types of common demons that are found during possession.
Yeah.
This is the meat and potatoes. I'll start out with, and don't, before you leave a bad review about how we're pronouncing things, we're probably going to pronounce these wrong. These are kind of weird.
If you are a devil worshiper or a goat sucker,
feel free to politely correct us.
Yeah, write us. Let us know if we say these things wrong. These are the most common demons that you're going to experience in the demon world. And this is what Julie helped us out with. And the first thing she says is Bill Wilkins. He's the... My name's Bill Wilkins, and I don't like when you use my fucking name in your stupid podcast.
Oh, we're sorry about that, Mr. Wilkinson.
I'm 73 years old, and I died in my own shit.
Yeah, we're
sitting in my chair.
You're a lazy boy.
You know what it's like to die in your own shit.
I can't say that I do, man. It's the same answer every time you ask me that.
You ever shit in the shower? My name's Bill Wilkins.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkinson.
I'm leaving.
First off, we got Azazel. Azazel? Something like that.
Azazel.
He is
That's what a demon says when it has an orgasm. He goes,
Azazel. He is the king of the evil goat spirits. So, Azazel.
I don't like how prevalent goats are in the,
really
aspect of like Satan and worshiping the fucking fire and shit.
Yeah. But Azazel is known as the father of possession, since he is the demon who discovered and perfected the act. So we have him to thank.
Dickhole.
According to lore, Azazel was once imprisoned, driven mad, and literally tore his spirit from his physical form to escape.
I think I've done that at work before.
It was then that he discovered that he could take over humans by force. He takes pleasure in killing those that are close to his victims and prefers setting up situations that seem impossible for the person to survive.
God damn.
Instead of killing them himself.
He's like Saul.
Yeah, exactly. He's like Jigsaw. If someone survives a possession from Azazel, they will never be the same.
They have to wear a diaper for the
He
rest of their
leaves
life.
behind a shell of a person that they once were. So he pretty much just sucks all of the energy out of them.
How sad is that?
Yeah. Next, I want to go to Akamana, or Akaman, or Akvan. 3 different names.
Abdar.
Yeah. He is the demon of evil intention. His name loosely translates to mind made evil, and that is exactly what he does to this human host. His goal is to corrupt their mind and destroy any and all morals. He prevents good in the world from happening and displays indifference to any daily responsibilities or ignoring large-scale moral obligations.
Jesus Christ.
He plants the seeds of evil in human minds, which includes lust, sloth, and deceit.
I love lust.
It's all the pastimes there. Let's see here.
I like this Lamashtu.
Lamashtu?
She's
Yeah.
fucking horrible.
What a bitch.
Yeah.
She torments women throughout their pregnancies, and she'll steal their babies so she can chew on their bones and drink their blood.
Chew the bones and drink the blood. Isn't that from a movie?
I think so. Anyone possessed by her will suffer terrifying nightmares and various sleep disturbances, and may come down with grave illness.
Or the 2018 version of America's Flu.
Very true. She is so terrifying that some say pregnant women will summon Pazuzu in hopes of protection.
Have you ever summoned Pazuzu before?
I can't say that I have.
So she's the one who you would call if you, for instance, have a hard time masturbating by yourself. You can get Pazuzu on the horn, and she'll come hook it up.
Give you a third hand?
Yeah. She's like, oh, yes, honey child. I'll be right there.
I love her.
I'm bringing Miss Cleo with me.
Such a sweet lady. Now, not that he would protect them, but the 2 demons hate each other so much that they would both be preoccupied fighting each other rather than possession.
I'm not doing it. You fucking do it. No.
This is the best part. She is depicted of having a hairy body, the head of a lioness, donkey teeth and ears, and bird feet with talons.
I had sex with a girl that looked like that one night at the bar. Like it was, 3 o'clock in the morning. She was all that was left.
And from there, we'll go to Andros.
The bartender said, oh, well, it's time to go because all that's left is old donkey teeth over there in the corner. I said, I wonder if the curtains matches the drapes.
Her whole body's the curtain.
You can tell when you hit the bottom because she starts hee-hawing.
Andros. Andros is a violent demon and commander of 30 legions. Sometimes he takes the body of an angel with the head of an owl and rides on the back of a black wolf. That's majestic as fuck.
It is very majestic.
Once inside of a human, he escalates problems, whispering thoughts of violence and various ways of killing people into his victims' heads.
Oh, that sounds absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. Vapula is the Duke of Hell, the high commander of numerous legions of demons.
I have a feeling that Vapula is the one that comes out of my ass when I'm having a Chipotle poop.
He's crafty and well-versed in philosophy.
He is.
Those possessed by him find themselves more clever and crafty, but also distrustful and suspicious.
Oh my god.
Let's take a look here from Beelzebub. Let's go to good old Beelzebub. We've had mention of Beelzebub before, I think in our Sex Demons episode.
Probably.
I think so. One of 7 princes of hell and the prince of the demons, also known as the Lord of the Flies.
He's a BMF.
Yeah. Reddened eyes, presence of flies, negative change in behavior, prominent symptoms for his possession. He's closely linked with blood and sacrifice and flies attracted to them.
That's one thing we haven't covered a whole lot this episode is rotting flesh and flies kind of goes hand in hand with the presence of a demon. And that's one thing that was kind of at the forefront in the story as far as the Amityville Horror and different other, like the Indiana Hell House. They had some goo coming out of the windows. We did that episode. But there's always a smell and flies, which to me that just makes my hair stand up.
Yeah, some crazy stuff. Those are the really good ones.
Well, you skipped Asmodeus.
Yeah, Asmodeus.
Which is the demon of carnal desire. The downfall of being possessed by him is that he is extremely jealous. He's terrified of water and birds because they remind him of God. Everyone has, you just go to your aunt's house because everyone has an aunt or a grandma that has like 3 fucking cockatiels and a Pomeranian.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hey, Aunt Patty. Oh, thanks for coming over, sweetie. Did you bring me my Newports? I was really hoping you'd bring me some Newports. Did you bring your friend Rob with you? Oh, hey, Robbie, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Han. How are you?
Last time you were here, I remember you asked me if the curtain matches the drapes.
Yeah, I still want to know.
And I told you that I may bleach my hair, but you can watch me bleach my asshole if you want.
I would love nothing more than that.
I like the way your teeth look, Robbie. It's okay if I call you Robbie?
It is, yeah. I have no problem with that.
Oh, man. They call me Aunt Trudy.
Okay, thanks, Trudy.
I need a fucking cigarette. Sorry I do that to you, Rob.
It's okay. I enjoy her.
And the aspect of, I'm not going to cover the debunking yet. I want to jump to another clip here to terrify the shit out of you guys.
All right, that sounds sexy.
This was someone that was kind of this was an investigation that was conducted, and they were kind of noticing some paranormal activity in the house. They were thinking that they potentially had some demons. Part of that investigation was them setting up audio recorders to record through the night and to see if they could, hear these things moving about the house, hear anything kind of, I should say, extraterrestrial.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to play you what they heard on their audio recorder. Stand.
Jeez.
Oh, God.
It's audio from a Taco Bell bathroom.
I was going to say, sounds like me taking a cravings deal fucking shit. Sounds like he's railing his wife out.
Whew. I don't know what that was.
That was a demon.
That was an actual demon.
That was a real live demon. That doesn't even come close to touching the first one.
Yeah, we tried to interview the demon for the episode, but all we could get out of it was
raptor sounds.
Yeah. So it wasn't a good interview.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
All right, so I guess from there, we'll go into a couple of different, I guess you would say, notorious demon possession cases. And I'll start with the one that I spoke about a little bit earlier, which was Julia. This is the only name known for this individual. This is back in 2008, and it was reported in 2012 by board-certified psychiatrist and associate professor of clinical psychiatry at New York Medical College. This is Dr. Richard E. Gallagher.
Richard.
So, yeah, good old Rich.
John Hancock.
Oh, yeah.
Herbie Hancock.
So, she was only known as Julia, and she actually came to a church begging them for help because she believed that she was, the victim of a possession.
Sorry, lady, I can't help you. All I've got is a bag of dicks and a computer.
So right off the bat, the church gets a hold of the psychiatric community because they're going to try to make sure that, she's mentally competent before they waste their time.
Sure.
Because, like I kind of said, a lot of it, schizophrenia and other type of mental disorders can go hand in hand with what people may think is a possession, but it's really not.
Right.
Now, when Dr. Gallagher began to interview Julia, he noticed that she would suddenly switch voices in mid-conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And they would be completely different from hers, and they would be, from what he had gathered, they would be completely out of character for her. She would go on like real extreme, like vulgar rants or even violent rants and make threats.
Those are our favorite.
Yeah, and she was visibly disturbed by religious items, which is kind of a common practice here that will happen. And this is actually what Dr. Gallagher said of this. He says, periodically in our presence, Julia would go into a trance of a recurring nature. Mentally troubled individuals often disassociate, but Julia's trances were accompanied by an unusual phenomenon. Out of her mouth would come various threats and taunts and scatological language. Scatological language, I love that.
That sounds like such shit porn, isn't it?
Yeah. Phrases like, leave her alone, you idiot. She's ours. Leave, you imbecile priest.
You big silly.
Or just leave. The tone...
That's very vulgar.
The tone of this voice differed markedly from Julia's own, and it varied, sometimes sounding guttural and vaguely masculine. At other points, high-pitched. Most of her comments during these trances or the subsequent exorcisms displayed a marked contempt for anything religious or sacred.
Leave me alone, you cotton-headed ninny muffin.
So, strange voices would also be heard while Gallagher was making private phone calls to other psychiatrists. This was on the phone lines, like while he was around her. He would be calling his other associates and talking to them, and he could hear voices on the line that he could not, he had no idea where they were coming from. And, it was only him and another psychiatrist on the line. So, it had to have been her.
Right.
Now, during the exorcism, the room became very, very hot. Gallagher himself recalled also items flying off of shelves.
Oh, good.
And Julia levitating. She would speak in Spanish and Latin, which Latin's a big one for...
it definitely goes hand in hand with...
It goes hand in hand with possessions. Yeah. Which, of course, she didn't know either of them language. Who really knows Latin these days? I mean, and she would be able to... And this is another crazy thing. She would be able to talk about personal facts about the people in the room with her. These people that she did not know.
Okay.
So people that he would bring in, she would be able to tell them all about stuff that's happening in their lives.
I heard he knew about his cats fighting the night before. Did you read that part?
I didn't see that.
Okay,
No.
Yeah, and she put in her research that Gallagher, the night before, his cats got in a fight, and then he went to go talk to Julia the next day.
Of all the things to know.
She's like, how are your cats doing?
What do you mean? What about my cats?
She knew that I just go home and have pussy fights at my house.
Now, this is one of the cases there that I was touching on later where they tried to do the old switcheroo with the water and the holy water. Holy water was all that affected her. She had no... it obviously didn't do anything to her whenever they threw the real water on her. So
that's good.
That was so she's really possessed. Now, she would wake up after these incidents and she wouldn't be able to recall anything that happened. So she was pretty much, checked out at that point.
And he was more, I am aware of his career somewhat. He was kind of, he fancied himself as a scientist as well as, I should say, an exorcist.
Yeah.
And he kind of relied on both ends of the spectrum there. He would use mental health professionals and he would also use the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And he would try and intermingle the two as far as the science side and the faith side. But he's definitely a go-to guy for it as far as
definitely
what I read.
Right. And of course, the last thing that I have, of course, is they were able to exorcise the demon out of her.
The cats are...
Meow. Meow.
The cats no longer fought.
Yeah, the cats no longer fought after
Kitties were fine after that.
The other one I have is George Luckins. Luckins or Lukens, I don't know.
This is good. Hit me with it.
I'm just going to say Lukens.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
All right, we're gonna go back in time to the late 1700s. We're back in England. So this is Yatton or Yatton, Yatton. Scatton. So Mr. Lukens is an illiterate man. So he can't read. He
automatically discredited for any further consideration in my mind.
It kind of we'll go into why that's kind of a little a big deal. It's not really a big deal, but when we get into his character, you'll be able to...
taught me how to read. I was a blubbering fucking idiot wandering around town, and then all of a sudden there was like a goddamn angel from the sky just come down and fixed me.
He was pretty much seen from everybody else as just, your normal, everyday guy. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he began barking like a dog. He would chant in foreign languages that he didn't know. We're talking about an illiterate man. He's not going to be able to speak a bunch of different languages.
Pig Latin, I can't even fucking read.
I can't even say it. He would sing hymns backwards.
Good.
He would just mouth diarrhea out curse words. It was also said that he would just walk on all fours and then convulse.
It sounds like he was on the fucking Flocka.
He's on Flocka.
He was on bath salts. Hey, man, you got any of that yayo? You got any of that purple stank wank? I'm trying to give me some of that shit.
I miss purple stank wank.
Swish, sweet. Give me some of that shit, bro.
Oh, man, so good. But yeah, he would walk on all fours. He would convulse, and then he would just appear to be thrown through the air by someone that you couldn't see. So he was making like weird movements that you can't really be like accredited to him.
And he always had shit in his bloomers too.
His bloomers. These episodes that he had could last up to an hour, and after incidents kept occurring, the Lukens family put him into a mental institution for 20 months. Now, during this 20-month time, they were unable to diagnose or treat him with anything.
And they really had state-of-the-art facilities back then.
Back in the 1700s, yep.
You'd stick a fucking needle in your nose and they just swirling your brain around.
Right. Now, these episodes grew worse over this 20-month period, and he actually began to bite and to claw at people. And he would show superhuman strength. So he would smash objects that shouldn't be able to be smashed.
Well, that's one thing. When we did speak to those demonologists a while back, they would... I don't believe... I'm sorry. I don't discredit them as far as... They probably did see some real cases. And the one thing he did say is they would go to these cases of demonic possession, and these people that were possessed would have... They would be women, small women, 90, 100 pounds. And 200-300 pound men couldn't restrain these women. Yep. They would throw these guys around. They couldn't pin these guys, several guys at a time. They were trying to make a porno with her. They couldn't pin her down. They were trying to make a Brazzers video, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
She's too strong.
Yeah, that goes hand in hand with this one as well.
Yeah.
So he also, of course, would have a horrible reaction to anything that had any religious symbology attached to it, crosses and stuff. He'd freak as shit. Now, Lukens began to tell everybody that he was possessed by 7 different demons and that it would require 7 different priests to remove them. That's what they were saying.
Do it in shifts.
He started pretty much wasting away. He became pretty much a shell of himself until an Anglican reverend in Bristol named Joseph Easterbrook took notice. He gathered 6 other ministers together to arrange an exorcism at that church. And it was kind of a DL thing. They kind of wanted to make it so that it was only between them and that nobody else knew. But of course, somehow it ended up getting out. And the day that they brought him to the church, there was hundreds of people outside waiting and watching, like just wanting to see what's going on. And this is...
You remember that bloody fucking idiot that couldn't talk? They're going to exorcise him today. They're
walking around on all fours like a fucking dog, man.
Walking around like a goddamn giraffe.
Like a giraffe. His neck is about as long as one. So now these accounts here that I'm about to go over is Reverend Easterbrook's accounts directly. These are the things that he's seen or that he saw and experienced during this time. He said that Lukens would sing in an eerily high-pitched voice, and then it would change to a deep, menacing voice that would berate the ministers. His voice would also change between a man's and a woman's and threaten them with violence, and at one point sing them a love song.
How would you like to grab a hold of my titties? I've got some real nice titties for you to grab on too.
The demons made it known that they were pissed about the exorcism attempt. So multiple voices would make themselves present. They would talk shit. They would sing like all they would go crazy.
Hold on one fucking second right here.
So
my name's Beelzebub, and you've probably been reading about me in your stupid fucking books. And I just want you to know that I'm not real fucking happy about this stupid shit that you people are doing on Times Square right now. I'd appreciate if you'd get the fuck out of here. He's a pirate demon.
Gotta love him. I love that guy. One of these particular voices he recalls was super deep, and he bragged of his powers that he possessed. And also, voices would speak in perfect Latin, which, of course, Lucans did not know. One of the many voices also sang a hymn of praise called Te Deum.
Okay.
And he sang this to the devil, which proclaimed him the supreme leader and governor of all things.
He's not wrong.
Eventually, 2 of the men had to hold him down. The demons said that they were using Lucans so that I may show my power among men.
They held him down, they shit on him.
Yeah. Now, after 2 hours, Lucans actually began to act normal and peaceful again and claimed that they were gone. And
you still got barking like a dog, though.
He actually, the church, the reverend, and Lucans all got under like heavy scrutiny after that with all the people around. Yeah, they
fucked it up.
Yeah, Lucans couldn't have like a normal job after that. Pretty much got ran out of the city.
That's good.
Because people were pretty much just like, treating him like an asshole.
Back then, though, that's life, though, man. That's like the end all. Faith, religion, God, all that stuff. You can't mess that up.
Yep.
And he fucked it up.
Yep. They did it bad.
I like that he, the demon that bragged a bunch. With the really deep voice.
You gotta see my powers.
Yes. I've got the biggest dick you've ever seen on a demon. I promise you that one. I will make your wife scream in pleasure. What movie is that with like Seth Rogen and James Franco? This is the end.
This is the end. Yeah, amazing movie.
That
love
demon comes in
and
and just swinging a fucking howitzer from its waist.
Yeah.
Just a Louisville Slugger comes in and
pretty tight.
That's how I like to envision my demons.
Right.
The huge penis. How many times have we said penis this episode?
17.
Penis counter is 17. You have anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm going to skip over one big story I had here. It's kind of nothing. I want to touch on one of the most popular cases of injustice, exorcisms, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
This is the case of Anneliese. She was of German descent, and this 1967 case was actually the it's what was behind the Emily Rose movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I can't say that I've actually seen that movie. I think I have, but
I need to touch back on it again. It's been a while.
It's like,
yeah.
But this was the case of an exorcism gone horribly wrong. This was, we've talked about her in prior episodes, but I don't think it was very deep. She could have an episode all on her, all alone. She was a 23-year-old mentally ill and epileptic German girl. She was suspected of being possessed due to her aversion to religious pictures and symbols, convulsions, ability to speak in tongues, foul smell. That's not fair.
Put your head down there and smell my crotch. It smells horrible, doesn't it? You like my smell of my stinky pissy.
And I work for a German company, and sometimes I have to go I worked with a guy from Austria, and the guy smelled like a nutsack all the time. So, and he would ask me questions like, "How do you think this is fixed right here, or you think that we need to keep on working on it?" I'm like, I think you need to go to the bathroom and put some Dial soap on your nutsack.
Fucking go wash your ass, buddy.
Take a knife edge and just go all the way down right where your nutsack meets your leg. Do a little knife edge. Bring it up and smell it. If you gag yourself, we're done for the day.
If your eyebrows singe, you're fucked.
The eyelashes fall out.
Yeah.
In the case of Anneliese Michel, she would have all the extreme aversion to the crosses and the holy water, and she
think like shit.
She I don't know if she was necessarily playing it up, or that's just what the devil had condemned her to do. She would eat coal.
Yum.
She would eat spiders. That's the perfect girl. You're trying to watch the game and she doesn't call you in for.
Honey, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm eating a spider.
she's eating a spider. All right, so she's eating coal. She's eating Donald Trump's beautiful, clean coal. Did you hear that? Did you watch the State of the Union?
No, I didn't.
I did. Unfortunately,
I don't do anything politics.
Beautiful, clean coal. What the fuck are you talking about? Whatever. And she'd eat spiders. She would drink her own urine. She would bark like a dog and once even bit a bird's head off.
She's Aussie.
Sharon! So she's doing all this fucked up shit. She sounds like
sounds like fun in a bun, man.
Just an average Marilyn Manson listener. Like, she just needs some friends or whatever. Anneliese believes she was willingly undergoing these torments to atone for the sinfulness of modern life. She died. Yes, this is where it gets sad.
In her own shit.
She don't know shit. She died of dehydration and starvation after undergoing nearly 70 exorcisms.
70 exorcisms.
Having refused to eat at the time of her death, she weighed only 68 pounds as a 23-year-old female.
Insane.
2 years after her death, her parents and the 2 priests who held the exorcisms were sentenced to only 6 months in prison for negligent manslaughter. The onslaught of exorcisms were said to have merely angered the demons possessing her, ultimately causing her to refuse food and water until she died. The autopsies showed that she had broken kneecaps from where she just repeatedly had to keep on dropping down to her knees and praying, doing these Hail Marys and shit to try and get rid of this demon. Her fucking body was just broken.
It's ridiculous.
And, that I do believe. It's hard to say, man. That's a hard one to just wrap your brain around, but
yeah, I think we can. I think we could pull an episode off for
yes, that. And I do have a short clip, real quick, of her barking like a fucking dog. Another clip for you, real quick.
Oh God!
Motherfucker.
That's fucking crazy.
No, it's not done yet. Oh yeah, that's fine. She's fine.
Yeah.
She just sounds like she's getting a really good dick.
She's taking a big shit. Dude, that's horrible.
And it's a coin flip whether she was possessed or she just had mental health issues. And that's the cool thing about these people that fake them. They say that fake being possessed by a demon. They can throw their voices. And I think you said you wanted to. Did you want to lead the episode with the Bill Wilkins thing, or are we saving it for another time?
No, let's leave it here.
Okay. Well, then we led with it, and that was the infield poltergeist. That could be another episode in itself.
Yeah.
That little girl was said to have thrown her voice as well.
Yeah, ventriloquist.
Little fucking bitch.
Yeah, they said that she would pretty much had like she had a nice little
barrel. Barrel.
She just would practice it.
Yeah. So that's the demons episode. Demonic possessions.
Yeah.
You can talk to us on our Instagram at Brohio Podcast. You can talk to us on Facebook, where we just broke 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
On the Facebook. You can talk to us on Twitter at Brohio Podcast. If you are another podcast that wishes to replicate all of our jokes and whatnot, you can do that, and then our listeners will call you out. Thank you, Ember Hammond from the Fiercely Altered Podcast. We're not going to throw any more shade than that. But yeah, go give those other podcasts a listen that we plugged in the beginning of the episode. I'm not sure what we're doing next week.
We'll figure it out.
Rob and I are going to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll probably just do an episode on it whenever we decide it.
I feel like the audio we played in this episode is probably the scariest shit we've ever played.
Yeah, especially that first one.
Go give us a 5-star review on iTunes.
15-star review.
Guys, thank you so much for listening.
We love you guys. Thanks, bros.
Could not do it without you, honestly. We love you.
Just before you died and just after you died.
Days before I died,
Friday. I went blind. Then I had an hemorrhage and I fell asleep and I died in a chair in the corner downstairs. I'm invisible.
You're invisible? Why are you invisible?
I'm a G-H-O-S-T.
Did any friends go with you?
Yes, all of them. All the dogs, 68 dogs.
So what do you got 68 dogs for?
So that they can protect me from you killing me. They can guard your riddle.
How can we kill you, Bill?
You can shoot me off.
Now how can we shoot you if we can't see you, Bill?
By praying to God.
Sorry, I didn't hear that, Bill.
By praying to God.
By praying to God. So, what you're saying is we couldn't get rid of you by praying to God?
Yes.